This guitar is very different from a standard acoustic guitar in many ways in the construction process. It looks very much the same in a lot of ways, but because of the material, certain things had to be redesigned, mainly how you hold it in place and what it does when the tension is applied to it. The strutting on these guitars slightly different to how I would on a wooden soundboard, mainly because the strength of the polymer is completely different to the strength of wood. Holding the material in a rigid position is part of the secret of how it works. When you're actually making a guitar, there isn't just the end result. There's a fair amount of analysis throughout construction, and part of that analysis is just the way that you're feeling that the wood is reacting to vibrations, how thick it should be, how it should be strutted, and all the things that are involved in the construction before the strings go on. It can actually create sounds rather like a drum. Once you start playing a guitar, you forget everything about the guitar, unless of course it sounds dreadful or it doesn't play properly. And this guitar is just intriguing. Most people that I showed it to, when they first tried it, the first thing they did was play it very loud and very hard strumming, and it seems to be that it does that remarkably well. It's only when you start sort of choking back a bit and do what Gordon says, start picking out the individual notes and start playing it quieter and quieter, you see it also has the range that you normally expect from a good guitar, that it will go anywhere where you want it to go.
Probably the best way of explaining why Rob Armstrong's so important to this project is to explain that science cannot really help us that much. And I did read a fair percentage of the literature about guitar physics and guitar design some years back. And the more you look at it, the more fascinating it is. You get some lovely diagrams, but at the end of the day, it doesn't actually tell you how to build a guitar. And the one thing you actually need is advice on how to make a guitar sound good when you're working from a different material, and you simply can't get that from science. So your option really is either to build, say, 600 or 700 guitars yourself and find out, or ask somebody who has. And so the quicker route is to talk to someone like Rob, who actually has all that experience and can bring that to bear on the use of new materials. To get a new idea accepted is very difficult. People believe that certain things are vital to guitar construction. And if you haven't got somebody who's renowned and famous in the guitar world saying that this new innovation really does work, then people are very nervous, and they're going to be concerned that perhaps they ought to be buying something with straight grain spruce, and that's the only thing that actually is going to function. And if you're actually going to begin to break those traditions, or the uncertainties associated with not knowing how guitar works and the big effects that the media have on what a guitar should be, then you really need someone who's got the credentials and public respect to actually carry that forward.
Cool Acoustics is a venture at Loughborough University. It's set up to commercialise Cool Acoustics technology and the soundboard technology that we have here. It's really kind of split between the research and development, which is within the Department of Design and Technology, and the commercialisation activities, which is run by Loughborough University Enterprises Limited. In the Department of Design and Technology, we focus on the technical aspects. We're looking at the research to investigate soundboards, to investigate the quality of guitar sound and how that relates to the design of instruments. Whereas at Loughborough University Enterprises, their main involvement is to get the technology to market and to talk to potential licensees and manufacturers to get the instruments in the hands of the public. The structure of a Cool Acoustics soundboard, the materials used in a Cool Acoustics soundboard, allow you to do things that you can't do with wood. You have to treat it as a different material when it comes to guitar construction. What that means is the bracing that you use to stiffen it can be quite different. This opens up opportunities for different tonal qualities in instruments. Also very important is the structural qualities of a Cool Acoustics soundboard. The material itself is very consistent. It's unlike a piece of wood where you've got a strong grain, you've got different kind of properties across a piece of wood. This is very, very consistent. So what we're hoping that translates to is a very, very consistent sound across instruments. We have a continuum from the simplest use of a Cool Acoustics soundboard, which would be in a hybrid guitar such as this, through to electric guitars, which we're working on, and ultimately to a guitar made entirely out of plastic. But as with all of these things, the technical development is quite an involved process. So you start off from a relatively easy end and gradually, iteratively work towards the more complex instruments.
That instant part of where the note doesn't exist to the point where it does is what I call a tack, and this material has loads of it. It has a wonderful, it comes in with a thick velvet parchment sound, which you normally only get from very old wood. As far as I'm concerned, the results from this guitar have amazed me and give me the incentive to continue to experiment with this material.
This new guitar is without a doubt a joy to play, and it's also a very good talking point at concerts, because it's quite a unique looking instrument. It responds incredibly well, it plays well, and I tell the audience my association with this guitar and Loughborough University led on to me being on the front cover of that wonderful magazine, Plastic and Rubber Monthly, and that gets a laugh, and it's true. I use other guitars as well. I don't endorse one particular guitar. All I can say is that all the guitars I play, I believe in. Otherwise I wouldn't play them. It's as simple as that.